Julie with Balanced Life with Julie, holistic nutritionist and certified health coach. So this week I want to continue talking about gut health. Last week I talked about what gut health is, how you can know when your gut is out of balance, and what are some of the ways to improve it. But this week I want to really focus in on how you can improve your gut health, because it's all about getting your gut to function as optimally as possible to boost your immune system, as well as to help with nutrient absorption into your body. So our digestive system runs like a tube from mouth to anus, but the real work is done in the gut. That is where food is absorbed, nutrients are absorbed, and that's where things are sorted out in terms of what is going to be utilized by the body and what needs to be excreted from the body. So gut health is foundational to overall health and well-being. Now, unfortunately, we live in a time where most people have issues with their gut. Some of the signs that your gut might be out of balance are if you're having issues digesting certain foods. So if you have food allergies, food sensitivities, allergies in general, skin allergies or sensitivities, if you have an autoimmune condition, if you have gas or bloating or are carrying a lot of excess weight through your midsection, those are all signs that things might be really out of balance. And what we want to do is help our body to restore balance, because all of us, your body, my body, everybody's body is capable of creating health. It's just really about giving your body the tools that your body needs in order to create health. So what I want to focus on are some of the fundamental ways that you can improve your gut health. There was a study that was done back in 2014. Now there's big debate, discussion, especially in the online space, about what diet is optimal for people. Is it a plant-based diet, a whole food plant-based diet? Is it a meat diet? Is it a diet that has some meat? Is it a 100% carnivore diet, which is one of the diets that's trending right now? So back in 2014, there was a study that was done by researchers who researched the gut microbiome. And what they did was take two groups of people. Group A was on a whole food plant-based diet. Group B was on a 100% carnivore diet. And what they found after 5 days is that the group that was on the 100% whole food plant-based diet had more short-chain fatty acids, which are protective against disease. They had lower inflammation and a bigger diversity in their gut microbiome. Now, the group that was on the 100% carnivore diet had more inflammation, no short-chain fatty acids that could be protective against disease, and there was far less diversity in their gut microbiome. Now, diversity is key for all things in life. Like in nature, we want to have lots of diversity. In our gut microbiome, we also want to have lots of diversity. So when you don't have that diversity in your gut microbiome, that's not great. Now, the great thing about our microbes or our gut microbiome is that it is very responsive to the foods that you're eating. Every single day, there are many generations of microbes that are born and that pass away. So what that means is that if you start changing your eating habits today, you start to affect your microbes, your gut microbiome. Now, hands down, the foods that your microbes thrive on are plant foods. So it's really important to make sure that you have lots of plant diversity and plant variety in your diet. As I mentioned before, you want to aim to have at least 30 different types of plant foods in your diet. Now, that can come from vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds, but you want to try and hit on all those different groups. At this point, it isn't completely even understood how many different types of microbes there are and which plant fibers that which microbes thrive on. But overwhelmingly, it's very obvious that the microbes in your gut thrive on plant foods. So if you have a diet that is full of processed foods, processed sugar, tons of meat and dairy, farmed fish, alcohol, those things are very damaging to the microbes in your gut. So if you're new to plant-based eating, I would say It's going to take your gut microbiome some time to adjust, but start to introduce new foods gradually. So for example, if you're somebody who doesn't normally eat lentils, instead of having like a big bowl of lentils, you want to just introduce a quarter cup at a time until you develop the microbes in your gut that can actually digest those lentils. A lot of times I find that people get turned off by plant-based eating or eating certain types of plant foods because it upsets their stomach, but it's really about introducing foods gradually, allowing your gut microbiome to adjust, and then continuing on the path. So that's one of the first things you can do to improve your gut health, is to really look at your diet and get your diet in check. Now, the second thing that I think is really, really important for gut health is making sure that you're getting rid of any heavy metals or chemical toxins that might be hanging out in your gut. I've talked before about glyphosate, but this is so prevalent in the environment. It's in the air that we're breathing, the water we're drinking, the foods that we're eating. And when it gets into our gut, what it actually does is it destroys the microbes in your gut, and it also starts to create this condition called leaky gut. So it's really important that not only are you addressing your nutrition, but simultaneously you want to, on a daily basis, be detoxifying these toxic chemicals out of your body. It's not just glyphosate. We're also exposed to many, many hundreds upon hundreds of other chemicals unknowingly on a daily basis. Now, just because you can't see them doesn't mean that they don't exist, right? Like, just like we know an atom is the basic building block of like our physical world, these chemical toxins are everywhere. You know, they're in the atmosphere, they're in the air that we're breathing, the water we're drinking, and especially prevalent, they are in our food system. And so part of a healthy lifestyle is making sure that you're getting these toxic chemicals and heavy metals out of your body on a daily basis. I use something called Biomedic. If you would like more information on that, please email me or reach out to me over social media. I would be more than happy to share my personal favorite gut support that I use on a daily basis. It's what I recommend to all of my clients, and I actually don't use anything else. I don't use probiotics. I just focus on my nutrition, and I take my Biomedic every single day. And now the last thing that I think is really important is getting your body into a regular rhythm in terms of sleep. Now, there are studies that show that on average, Americans only sleep 5.5 hours a night. That is so detrimental to your health in so many ways, right? It kicks your body into insulin resistance. But the other thing to keep in mind is that when you're not sleeping, your body automatically perceives that to be a state of stress. So you want to get your body into a regular rhythm in terms of going to bed and waking up. And that also impacts your gut health, because the microbes in your gut are very responsive to the stress states that you're in. So if you're in a really stressed out state because of the foods that you're eating or not sleeping enough, it's going to throw off your gut microbiome as well. I really recommend getting into a regular rhythm in terms of going to sleep at a set time, having a wind down routine every single night where you start to dim the lights a couple hours before you go to bed. You have a sanctuary in your bedroom where you're not keeping electronics, or you don't have any work in your space where you're trying to rest. And you have a bed that's comfortable to sleep in. All of this stuff might sound very basic, but it's always shocking to me how many people are not mindful of their rest and environment, how they are not mindful in how they create their sleeping space. But it's really important that you wind down every night, you start to prepare your body for rest, and that you are having a sanctuary in your bedroom where you can actually sleep. Now, try and stay off electronics 30 minutes to an hour before bedtime, because that blue light from electronic devices really messes up your sleep. So if you want to have a good, sound night's sleep, get away from the electronic devices. That means phones, computers, TVs, all of it. iPhone, watches, all of it. Get away from all those electronic devices and prepare your body to rest. The better you sleep, the better your body will recover, and it will actually help you with your gut health as well. Now, there are more tips that I plan to be sharing in an upcoming workshop on gut health, so keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. In the meantime, if you're looking for health advice, you can go to my website, download my free ebook, 9 Essential Habits for Healthy Living, and you can check that out as well in the meantime. I hope you found this video to be helpful. If you think that this would benefit anyone else, please feel free to share it. And until next time, be well.